Hello everyone, I'm Kat. This is Blooper. He's my big old boy cat, about 6 years old. Today, with the semi-sustainable life, I am going to be planting some seeds. I'm going to be planting tomato seeds. I have these trays that I got from Amazon, and each one has 12. Now, why put one in each when you can dense plant? I usually put 5 or 6 seeds in each one. My seeds are fairly old, so I'm going back to 2002 or 2005, I'm sorry, and most of them in the 2007 to 2013 range. I've had gardens in the past, pretty large gardens, but I haven't in the past couple of years because, well, with the pandemic, when I should have been ramping it up, I am a nurse, and we had a lot of really big things going on in our life in the past couple of years. So besides working 5 zillion hours a week and getting sick, now I'm recovering from COVID myself right now. Blooper. Then at the beginning of 2020, we had a family tragedy that just kind of took it all out of us. Then I came back, I was sick with bronchitis, and then got COVID. The first one was one of the first ones exposed in this area. Then I hurt my shoulder, and so that was in October of 2020, and I'm just now recovering from that. And so it just took that long because I'm a nurse. You would think that I would have gotten exceptional care because it happened at work, but no. They just kind of put me off and put me off and put me off until I paid for it myself. A little bitter about that, but it just goes to show no matter how many hours and what you do at work, they don't care. Really, you're just a body there, and if you can't do it, then you just can't do it. So right now, there's a huge shortage of nurses, and so I have a little bit of leeway there now. But I don't want to work I don't see myself doing it for the next 10 years. So I'm needing to figure out a way to reduce our costs while our income reduces, because I know that no matter what I do here or what I do there, I'm not going to make what I made as a nurse. I've been a nurse for 21, 22 years, so that in healthcare, that adds up quite a bit. So what other things do I love to do? Well, I love to do everything. My husband keeps asking me what's my next hobby going to be, but each one is piling up on the other one to learn how to be more sustainable. How if something comes up where we can't, which in the past couple of years has really been a real deal. I'm the person in the neighborhood that can take wool and make it into yarn and make clothing out of it. I'm the person in the neighborhood that can raise plants and grow tomatoes and all the other veggies. Can't have animals because of city ordinances, but I'm that person. And so I weave, I make soaps. So I'm guessing mostly in this neighborhood, I'm probably about the only one that does. Most people go to work or they're retired and they kind of putter. But in the meantime, I'm trying to learn new things and grow as a person all the time. That's always my New Year's resolution, is not to lose weight. It's not to, which I should, but it's to learn new things and to grow more each year. And so with that, I think that I'm doing pretty good. Lots more to go though. Today, I'm going to be planting my tomato seeds, and I'm one of those weirdos that know a lot about heirloom tomatoes. Not a lot, but, well, a lot more than most people anyway. I am planting seeds, like I said, from back 2005, 2004, most of them 2007, 2013. And I am going to be planting them all in the planter, and like I said, I'm going to be dense planting them because I don't have enough. I have too many seeds. Now, with them being old, I'm planting about 3 to 6 seeds in each one. I don't expect all of those to come up, and my luck, they probably will, because I've seen it in the past. But if that happens, I've got family members and friends that will take the plants too. But I plan on planting a lot of plants. My husband saw my other video and he was like, a big garden? I'm like, yep, because he knows what that means for him. he's my pack mule. Anyway, so I don't grow just the normal tomatoes. Hybrids are fine for what, if you want the red perfect little ball tomato. But when you're canning, you need lots of pastes. They're the best, like Ox Hearts, paste tomatoes. Those are the best, as I have a cat assaulting my camera again. Those are the best to can with, because you don't have a lot of sauce. And I have a tomato mill, which I can take out some of the seeds and the juice. So if I want to can juice, I can just can the juice. But really what I want is good paste tomatoes. My favorite slicer is Atkinson, which last name, but that's the first reason I bought it. But it turned into a very, very, my favorite tomato. Along with that is pineapple. And I like, I've got the Italian tomato tree from Tomato Fest, which some people, you get into the tomato world and Tomato Fest is against these people and these people are against tomato. Who cares? I just like the tomato because it produces a lot. So I get the Italian tree. And that gets big. I've had it like 12, 13 foot in the last garden I had. There's a lot of tomatoes that I can't even pronounce I'm East Texan, but that I can't pronounce, but I'm going to be planting in these too. So like I said, 3 to 6 seeds, maybe a little more if I have enough of Atkinson. And I'm going to warm up my soil, which I have. Well, I don't know where it went. Okay, anyway. Gone. It's just a choir, and I'll put a picture of it here in just a few minutes, and then also I'll put a link below. It's just plain old choir, pronouncing, not my strong suit. And then I just use warm water. So I've already got some mixed up. Oh, it was sitting right beside me. Oh my gosh. Right here. I don't have my glasses on. They're in the bedroom. My husband's asleep and I didn't want to wake him up, so I'm kind of blind. I got this on Amazon. Okay. And have some mixed up in here. And I'm going to warm it up and I'm going to plant. I'm going to speed through some of this planting, but then towards the end, I'll show you the different varieties that I am planting. It's a lot. I'm planting 6 trays, 12 in each tray. So you can imagine I had to turn down way more than that in seeds that I've gotten from tomato swaps, that I've gotten from myself like a long time ago. I'm planting some of the ones that I had in my very, very first garden back in 2007. Pineapple, Amanda orange, pink accordion, the Italian tomato tree. I don't have any more seeds of great white, but I'll do those next year. I'm fine without those seeds, I promise. And so, yeah, I'm going to pause and then I'm going to start the planting process. Okay, so what I'm doing right now is I'm showing you my yard. These are my overhead supports that I had made before. Were totally all the wood rotted and everything like that we had on them in the last few years. Anyway, this is the backyard that I have to work with. So it's pretty good. I'm planning on, well, as I go around again, go over here. This will be totally redone. So last time I planted cucumbers up this, and it worked out really well. We own a company that does gutters, and I thought about doing that. Well, let me just say, Texas heat, way too small and way too hot. I cooked my little plants in that, so that's not going to work anymore. I keep thinking it will, but then there's just no way. So yeah, have a lot to work with. Eventually, if we ever buy the place, I'm hoping to put a shop over there for my pottery. Big house in the back, not my house. And also some posts here that I can work with, trying to string up. Anyway, this is the backyard. Real quick view, these are my kilns that I do for my pottery. So I have 2 of them here. It's windy outside and it's gotten cold, so I'm very cold. Okay, so now we'll show you the front yard. Okay, so here's the front yard. It's so cold. Okay. My husband's truck. We share a driveway with neighbors. Then there's the bigger houses in front of us. It's like it turned into winter in just a few minutes here. And so, kind of where those trees are the end of the perimeter of our line, that tree over there. And my pottery studio stuff. But I'm going to be working with this and trying to figure out what to do next. I'll probably be planting in that area out there a little bit. So that's the front yard. Now we're doing all of our planting. You can see Blooper. His expert guidance is really telling me which plants to plant. I have like 250, I think, varieties that I've put into a database. And as you can see, I'm kind of going over to the computer. I've put them in alphabetical order as to what I'm going to be planting, but I get off a little bit further on down the road. So as I go back to the computer, I'm looking and trying to figure out which order to put them in and plant them in. I've decided to use part of 7 of those trays. So each tray has about 12 openings, and each little segment there has about between 2 to, well, one of them just had 1, and we'll talk about that when I get there. But one had 1, 2 had a couple seeds left, and then the rest are between 3 and 6. The only one that I think I really had a lot more than that I did 6 or 7 on was like Atkinson, one of my favorite tomatoes. Here is a different view as I'm just trying to let y'all see what I'm doing. Filling them out as I go. This whole process took me all day long. So I know it looks like such little amount of work, but it took me all day long. You have to be really, really meticulous whenever you're planting the seeds this way, because you can cross contaminate, and then when you're trying to save your seeds for later, you might get your plant's not going to come up the right way, and you're going to go, why? It's because you dropped the wrong seed in the wrong little hole, and now you're growing a beefsteak where a little paste tomato should be. I had several of those the last garden because they got whenever I transplanted them up, they got mislabeled. So I'll work harder on that. Here's another view just from the top. I kind of like this one. I'll have to use that on some of my pottery videos on my other channel. But anyway, so there I am just showing little bitty tiny seeds going into the little holes. It was really, really hard to try to decide which tomatoes to go with because I have so many varieties. I know a lot of people have even more. I know some people that have 1,000 plus different varieties, and that would just be way overwhelming for me.
because what I had was overwhelming. I just want to try them all and see what happens. But I planted some of my really good favorites from the last years that I've gardened, and ones that I know produce, and I've mixed in some new to me varieties so I can see how those go. Usually, whenever I do a garden, um, my whole plan is just to see what did well, and then just add a few different varieties the next year. But this year, I'm going whole hog. So coming up is just a real quick picture of the different varieties that I did decide to plant. And I'm sorry to say I'm thinking of adding a few more. I don't know what I'm even thinking. But anyway, that's about all I've got, and we're about to go into our exit. Thank you.
Okay. So now you've seen my process for planting seeds for my tomatoes, my little dense, semi-dense planting method. Probably going to grow like, I don't know, 1,500 plants, who knows. They're all going to double and triplicate. But really, I just want to thank you for watching this. And if you can put below, what are your favorite tomato plants? What do you like to use them for? Make a comment. Let me know. I like hybrids, and I like open pollinated tomatoes. Tend to favor the open pollinated so I can save the seeds and get the same tomato every year, theoretically, as long as it doesn't get pollinated by something else. But anyway, we'll follow along and see how long this takes to come up. And some of them are, and some are not going to come up very well because of the age. But we'll see. Continue following me. Thank you. Subscribe.